Dani Johnson.
98% of the population will end up dead or dead broke by the age of 65.
Dani Johnson.
The question I have for you, is that how you want to be?
Is that the life that you want?
Well, if you look at what everybody else is doing and you live the way they are, then that's what you're going to have.
Why live under the burden of debt?
I say, look at what everybody else is doing and do the opposite.
Dani Johnson.
Hello, welcome to the Dani Johnson Show. We're so happy that you chose today to join us on this awesome adventure of growing in our success every single day. I'm Dani Johnson, grew up on welfare, pregnant at 17, homeless at 21, but millionaire by 23. Today, multi-millionaire, best-selling author, radio and television show host who has a passion for seeing you succeed. You know, there's something that I've seen through the years in my own heart, as well as in the people that I've had the beautiful privilege and honor of working with, that many of us have a past filled with rejection. Rejection seems to be a really twisted thing. Rejection is one of those things that, even as I just shared with you what my past was, you know, I was raised by a family that had a crazy amount of abuse in it. And when you've got that kind of crazy abuse and you've been rejected and not accepted, you find yourself in a life, almost for some people, for the rest of their lives, you find yourself trying to gain acceptance, and often from all the wrong people. Do you fear being rejected? Are you somebody that has been rejected? There's a lot of different ways that rejection gets carried out in our lives. It affects our marriages. It affects our business or careers. It affects even our finances. When you have that spirit of rejection, you have a tendency of holding back, not going all in. You have a tendency of being somebody that is afraid of trusting people. This doesn't help in your finances at all. It doesn't help with your business either. Certainly will hurt a marriage and relationship with kids, as well as with friends and other family members. This is something that I carried for a really long time. Didn't even know that it was there. I just have these thoughts go through my head all the time that really controlled me. And I found myself not being able to commit to some things and really holding back, especially in my marriage. I really held back in my marriage. Prior to Hans and I getting married, man, he was everything to me. I just loved him with everything that was in me. But as soon as we got married, everything changed. I mean, everything changed. Everything inside of my heart, all of a sudden, I didn't trust him anymore. All of a sudden, I didn't like him anymore. All of a sudden, I was waiting for him to maybe abuse me. I was waiting for him to somehow turn into the man that raised me. Being accepted by a father figure, there's actually very few things that are more powerful than that for someone's confidence, for someone's vision, for someone's happiness. And on the other side, likewise, rejection, being rejected by your father or your father figure in your life, that also can pay a crazy price. It's a price that we seem to pay and again. You see, when we carry the spirit of rejection, it will even cause us to buy, trying to fill a hole, not just a little hole, but let's say a cavern like the Grand Canyon. Just this huge void that's inside of us that truly just wants to be accepted, but never thinks that we will. That's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be digging in, exposing the lie of rejection, the pain and the suffering that it can cause, and how to dig yourself out of that situation. People who carry rejection also self-sabotage themselves. They self-sabotage their weight goals, self-sabotage their financial freedom goals, their debt reduction goals, self-sabotaging their relationships at work, in the community, self-sabotaging their own reputation. Man, they start doing really, really good, and then, bam, they just completely mess the entire thing up because somehow they've gotten used to and they have chosen to believe that rejection is just a way of life. Well, I'm here to tell you rejection is nothing but a lie. So if you have been affected by rejection, have you been rejected? What did it feel like? How did it affect your life? What price have you paid as a direct result of this hurt that someone didn't teach you how to walk through? 844-200-3264 is my number. Again, that's 844-200-3264. In just a few minutes, we're going to be taking your call live, and we really are. We're going to dig deep in looking at what is the result of rejection? How has it played a part in your life? And how were you able to overcome? What things did you have to learn to be able to get over this fear of rejection or this self-sabotaging spirit that you have carried into the relationships in your life, including your relationship with your finances? I found for myself that I hated myself. And that was all based on what my father, not my biological father, but my adopted father had told me. You know, you're fat, you're ugly, you're stupid, you can't do anything right. I'd worked so hard to try to get his acceptance through sports. He had played football through high school, even was recruited to a professional football team when he was 18 years old, fresh out of high school. He was 265 pounds, 6'8", at 15 years old. So he got recruited to play for the Los Angeles Rams when he was only 18 years old. He then, within the first season, hurt himself and never played again and was on disability pretty much for the rest of his life. So I thought that the way to gain acceptance from my dad would be through sports. And so I became an incredible athlete, the best in my particular league in California and in Oregon, the best rebounder, the best scorer, led many basketball teams. My average points were crazy high. It actually earned me 26 scholarship offers to various different universities around the country. In fact, I got the scholarship offers my junior year in high school because my ability for basketball and volleyball was so high and my grades were okay. And so they said, if you complete this next year with the same grade point average and the same average for scoring, then, you know, you've got a full ride into our NCAA school. Well, I swallowed a baby instead. That sounded wrong. I got pregnant instead that summer. Again, looking for acceptance, looking for love, looking for somebody to say, you're worthy, you're something, you matter to me, I care for you. My high school boyfriend wasn't the right pick for that. That really was a disaster. Anyway. But it does, you know, when you carry that rejection, you begin to think that everyone's going to reject you in that same way. And that's honestly how I felt about life, that everyone's going to reject me, that I'm always going to end up feeling hurt, and that everyone's going to abandon me, and I can't trust anybody. And so I destroyed my life in many different instances. And I destroyed myself financially because I carried this self-hate. Because if my dad, again, I didn't find out that he wasn't my dad until I was 17 and a half, meaning biologically, but my dad rejected me. He rejected everything. You know, he never went to a single one of my basketball or volleyball games, not one, not a single awards, a ceremony, nothing. Like, he never participated with all of it. He was home every single day. He could have come. He wasn't disabled how you would think disabled was. He totally lied again, trying to get more money from the government with this so-called disability. He lost it a couple times too because they caught him playing basketball or they caught him playing football, which, you know, was stupid when you're saying that you are disabled. But anyway, long story short, I carried this hatred for myself. And when you hate yourself, you can't love others. That's what I found to be the truth. When you hate yourself, you can't love others. When you hate yourself, well, when you follow that track all the way out, friend, well, I just say this. At 6 years old, this is the first time I tried to commit suicide. I battled with suicide well into my late 20s, early 30s, actually. I battled with it. It was like a physical battle daily. It was a fight to keep myself alive. And honestly, I didn't want to stay alive. I tried to commit suicide several times. I just failed at it. I couldn't even do that right. And that then was like what would go through my head. Like, you can't even do that right. So just that voice, you know what I mean? Just that tormenting voice that just says, you can't do anything right. And when you believe that you can't do anything right, what do you become? You become somebody that can't do anything right. Because we both know that our beliefs produce actions and behaviors. And those actions and behaviors produce results. That's how it works. Words literally are like seed. The word seed comes with everything that it needs to reproduce itself. And I received the seed of rejection from the man that raised me. And I received that seed of rejection from the kids on the playground. I received that seed of rejection from my sisters who completely rejected me and hated my guts. And you know what? They should have. I was a terrible older sister. I was awful. We were all 18 months apart, the three of us growing up in this abusive home. You know, my parents used to say, go outside and beat the blank out of them. You know, take care of them for me, you know, and I would, which was awful, that I would literally get in a fist fight with my sisters instead of trying to protect them. They had been abused too by my father. And I didn't do anything about it. I didn't stand up to try to protect them. I hated them just as much as they hated me. And that's what happens when that seed of rejection, because again, you first will reject yourself. You will reject yourself. And you will reject others. It's painful. Even you will reject the people that you want to love, that you think you love. It's where this voice inside of you, or even it's a feeling that I can tell you, that maybe every time your spouse talks, you just want to reject it. You just want to argue with it. You want to stand against it. You don't even know whether or not you agree with it. But there's this thing that rises up inside of your belly that says, no, I don't like you. I don't like what you're saying. You drive me crazy. I can't stand you. The sound of your voice makes me want to vomit. Do you know what I'm saying? If you've got that, you're carrying that seed of rejection. And today, we're going to help you solve it. Today, you're going to learn, not just from myself, but from others. Because there are people who are listening right now. You're going to call me, 844-200-DANI, where you've been able to overcome. Or if you need help overcoming this self-rejection and the rejection of others and self-sabotaging, 844-200-DANI. We're going to work through it together. I found a solution, and it has worked. I wouldn't be sitting in the seat talking to you right now if I still was carrying this wicked seed of rejection that had a goal, and that was to take my life. It had a goal to destroy my marriage, to destroy my relationship with my children, to destroy my finances. It had a goal. It had a mission. But that seed has been destroyed, and so will the one that perhaps is in you. This is Dani Johnson, 844-200-3264. I'm going to take your call in this very next segment.
Radio talk show host Dani Johnson in Kadwa, Haiti.
Hi, I'm Dani Johnson, and I'm here with Vida in her tiny little home. This home is the size of many people's closets in the United States of America. Now, we're sitting on a bed, just a piece of sheet or plastic that these beautiful babies sleep on. They have nothing. This family has nothing. No water, no food, nothing. Won't you do something? The Bible says that if you ignore the cry of the poor, then you too will cry and be ignored. They're not asking for nice clothes. They're asking for food. That's it. Food, water. You can help. We want to build her a home. We want to bring water, clean, fresh water here. But we can't do it alone. We need you.
Help us radically change a community. Go to kingsransom.org to make your donation to Kadwa, Haiti. That's kingsransom.org.
Is God calling you to the entertainment industry? Rise for God. Do you want to be an actor, model, singer, or dancer? Shine for God. Do you think the world needs better role models? Be a star for God. Actors, models, and talent for Christ is coming to a city near you. A new generation of Christian performers is rising. Call 800-STAR-420 or go to amtcaudition.com. God gave you talent for a reason, to shine for Him. We're searching for actors, models, singers, and dancers. Log on to amtcaudition.com to find out when and where the next audition will be held. Entertainment's the best opportunity for Christians to change the world, and the time is now. Are you ready for the call? Log on amtcaudition.com or call 800-STAR-420. 420. Actors, models, and talent for Christ. Register for your audition today. Call 800-STAR-420 or amtcaudition.com.
As a homeschool parent, you know you've taken a tremendous responsibility. Some children need straightforward academics. Sometimes a child struggles and needs a little extra support. Help is available and is as simple as a few strokes on your computer keyboard at homeschoolworksforyou.com. That's homeschoolworks, the number 4, the letter U.com. Homeschoolworksforyou.com is a terrific program to help homeschoolers and offers classes for grades 5 through 12 and has resources for tutoring, college planning, and testing, all taught from a biblically conservative view. Classes are flexible, and there's a variety of options for the complex schedules. Choose one class or many, depending upon your children's individual needs. Homeschoolworksforyou.com is a convenient online platform designed so all you need is a computer and an internet connection. It's also incredibly affordable. Visit their website today, homeschoolworksforyou.com. That's homeschoolworks, the number 4, the letter U.com.
Did you know there's a healthcare solution that honors your Christian beliefs, is affordable, and acceptable under the new law? It's Medishare, a thriving community of believers across America who share each other's medical bills. Members live healthy, God-honoring lifestyles, which makes it really affordable, and you'll find options to fit every budget. It's accepted by America's largest network of health providers, and there's no enrollment period. You can join anytime. Best of all, it's biblical. You never pay for things you don't believe in. Medishare is a sensible healthcare solution for Christians.
Learn how thousands of Christians can help you save on your health care. For your free information guide, call 855-90-BIBLE. Not available in Montana. Medishare, affordable biblical health care. Call 855-90-BIBLE. That's 855-90-BIBLE.
Dani Johnson here, and you're listening to The Dani Johnson Show with tens of thousands of people just like you. People thinking about what you think about, talking about what you talk about, and needing the same products and services you need. It's a place where like-minded consumers gather, savvy business owners, marketing directors, and responsive individuals making significant buying decisions. From consumer home goods and services to business products, people just like you needing the same things you need. They should be buying your product and service or doing business with your company. I'd love to help. To find out how to advertise on this show, email info@intelerep.com. That's info at intelerep.com, or call 251-928-9400. That's info@intelerep.com or 251-928-9400.
She's made it a point to teach success better than anyone else in America. So welcome to the international headquarters of your new future. And now, back to the Dani Johnson Show.
Rejection strangled me, literally, like a murderer. Its grip was around my throat, sucking the life out of me. Where did it come from? How did it get there? Why did I submit myself to that voice that continuously said, you're nothing, you're worthless, you're useless, you can't do anything right? Why don't you just die? It all started from the rejection that I received as a young little girl. I believed what people had said about me, but I had to learn how to overcome. Because if you carry rejection, you fear being rejected and you reject others. You won't accept success. You won't accept love. You won't accept anything that is good, including a loving relationship with the Creator, who desires for you to know Him and to know Him more intimately. We're going to the phones because I want to hear from you, your take on rejection. How has it impacted your life, or how have you been able to overcome? Line 6, we have Evelyn from Pennsylvania. Evelyn, welcome to the Dani Johnson Show.
Thank you, Dani. Thank you so much for all that you do. You've really made a difference in my life.
Good. So talk to me about rejection.
Well, I too was rejected as a child, by my father. I was the older sister, like you. We have so much in common, you and I. When you were just speaking, it was amazing. It gave me goosebumps. And I too was looking for love in all the wrong places and looking for other things, to get into. Looking for people to give me the love that I never had. And it does affect your life, your whole life. And
how did it affect your life? You know what I mean? Like, tell me specifically, how did it affect your life? What area did it affect?
Well, it has affected, my marriage,
how?
My business.
Tell me how. Tell me how. Give me something specific.
Same, just no matter what, the rejection of, my husband, he travels a lot. And so since we've been married, he's traveled off and on. And then that right there is like, oh, here we go again, another reminder. Well, my husband, has to travel for work. So there's another,
he doesn't want to be with me. That's how you perceive his travel. He doesn't want to be with me. If I was a better wife, if I was a better woman, if I was prettier, if I was thinner, if I was more beautiful, he would not take the job that forces him to travel.
Exactly. And so that causes arguments because, in his line of work, he has to travel. And so, and then, with family, I'm in network marketing, so then you get the rejection of your family, your friends. You're weird, and you're doing that, and that'll never work, or and then you get rejected by family. I've been rejected by church people, a church, in my past, and just a lot. It
keeps reproducing itself. That's what it does. That's what that spirit of rejection that we receive as a kid will continue to do. Because if we look at, seed comes with everything that it takes to reproduce itself. And then when it does reproduce itself, it comes up with a tree full of more fruit that then falls to the ground and reintegrates again, but it multiplies this time. So even if it was, rejected by one person to your life, and now it multiplies the amount of people that you are being rejected by. Now, this is something that's so important. You, Evelyn, must forgive your father. Because if you do not forgive your father, we are going to continue to reproduce this rejection in your life. Forgiveness is so powerful. And honestly, you have to follow the fruit to the root system. And the root system starts with dad, with him rejecting you. And you got to kill that root system. You have to uproot that system because it will continue again and again. And so like what you said, here you are as a wife, and as a wife thinking that you're not good enough because if you were more, then your husband wouldn't travel. It has nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with this is how your husband is providing. What a gift. This is how he's providing for you. This is how he's loving you. This is how he's providing for the family, for the household. And yet we who carry rejection could have such a twisted, thwarted, even sometimes evil mindset that will destruct a good blessing, only to come to that conclusion again of, see, I was rejected. See, nothing ever goes good for me. See, everyone hates me. See. Evelyn, thank you so much for being so transparent and sharing the price that you've paid on your marriage with rejection. This is Dani Johnson. We're going to take more calls right after this. Okay, if you know me at all, I don't want you spending a penny more than you have to on anything. This is one of those things. If you're a business owner and take credit cards, you're paying too much unless you're working with my friend Kevin at Prestige Merchant Solutions. He's so confident that if he can't save you money, he'll pay you $100. Listen, if you're accepting payment by credit cards, check it out. 850-200-0709. That's 850-200-0709. Kevin guarantees guarantees 5-star service. He guarantees he'll save you money, and he'll pay you $100 if he can't. No risk, right? So what are you waiting for? Call today. It's quick to change your current service, incredibly reliable, 24/7 support, and payments are processed quickly. Tell him Dani sent you. There's nothing to lose. Call 850-200-0709. 850-200-0709. Stop overpaying today. As a homeschool parent, you know you've taken a tremendous responsibility. Some children need straightforward academics. Sometimes a child struggles and needs a little extra support. Help is available and is as simple as a few strokes on your computer keyboard at homeschoolworksforyou.com. That's homeschoolworks, the number 4, the letter U.com. Homeschoolworksforyou.com is a terrific program to help homeschoolers and offers classes for grades 5 through 12 and has resources for tutoring, college planning, and testing. All taught from a biblically conservative view. Classes are flexible, and there's a variety of options for the complex schedules. Choose one class or many, depending upon your children's individual needs. Homeschoolworksforyou.com is a convenient online platform designed so all you need is a computer and an internet connection. It's also incredibly affordable. Visit their website today, homeschoolworksforyou.com. That's homeschoolworks, the number 4, the letter U.com. Okay, if you know me at all, I don't want you spending a penny more than you have to on anything. This is one of those things. If you're a business owner and take credit cards, you're paying too much unless you're working with my friend Kevin at Prestige Merchant Solutions. He's so confident that if he can't save you money, he'll pay you $100. Listen, if you're accepting payment by credit cards, check it out. 850-200-0709. That's 850-200-0709. Kevin guarantees 5-star service. He guarantees he'll save you money, and he'll pay you $100 if he can't. No risk, right? So what are you waiting for? Call today. It's quick to change your current service, incredibly reliable, 24/7 support, and payments are processed quickly. Tell him Dani sent you. There's nothing to lose. Call 850-200-0709. 850-200-0709. Stop overpaying today.
Radio talk show host Dani Johnson in Kadwa, Haiti.
Hi, I'm Dani Johnson, and I'm here with Vida in her tiny little home. This home is the size of many people's closets in the United States of America. Now, we're sitting on a bed, just a piece of sheet or plastic that these beautiful babies sleep on. They have nothing. This family has nothing. No water, no food, nothing. Won't you do something? The Bible says that if you ignore the cry of the poor, then you too will cry and be ignored. They're not asking for nice clothes. They're asking for food. That's it. Food, water. You can help. We want to build her a home. We want to bring water, clean, fresh water here. But we can't do it alone. We need you.
Help us radically change a community. Go to kingsransom.org to make your donation to Kadwa, Haiti. That's kingsransom.org.
You tell yourself that life isn't that bad. You relish the small pleasures. Drive-through coffee, big screen TV, vacations bought on credit cards. But that's as good as life gets unless you take a leap of faith. This is millionaire author, radio and television show host Dani Johnson, inviting you to join me for 2 days where you will acquire the skills to make the life you crave a reality. Call now 844-200-DANI or visit firststepstosuccess.com.
Ever wondered how to advertise on the Dani Johnson Show with tens of thousands of people just like you listening, thinking about the things you do, talking about the things you do, and needing products and services you need? Savvy business owners and marketing directors advertise on the Dani Johnson Show. Advertise your products or services on the Dani Johnson Show. Email info@intellerep.com or call 251-928-9400, 251-928-9400.
There's just so much that she's done to help people, to help their children face the next generation with success, to declare war on things that tear families apart, and to look people straight in the eye and to tell them how much they mean to her.
There is no one else
Like this lady right here. And now, back to the Dani Johnson Show.
You know, I've paid a hefty price in my life because of choosing to believe the opinions of not the right people. In fact, people in general. Have you ever heard of this? That the fear of man will prove to be a snare. Oh, it's so powerful. I'm going to say it again. The fear of man will prove to be a snare. I feared people's opinions for a long time. I feared about what you would think of me if I said really how I felt. I feared and worried about what you would think about how I looked, what my hair was like, or my nose, or my crooked mouth, or my super lanky legs, and my really monkey arms, and hello, my man-sized hands. I really cared about you rejecting me, even though I didn't even know you. It would put me under the covers day after day after day. I even feared people speaking bad about me, saying terrible, horrible things behind my back, accusing me of things I had not done. Why? Where did that come from? Why is it that all of a sudden these thoughts come into my head? Well, when I followed the fruit that was in my life, this fruit of all of this fear of man, I followed it to the root system. And it all started with being rejected in the womb by my biological father. My biological father who planted a seed inside of my mother and wanted that seed to be gone. This was now rejection. You see, this Bible says that the sins of the father will be passed down to the third and fourth generation of those who hate me. My dad at the time was not walking with God. And he didn't want a child with this 17-year-old girl that he barely knew. Well, then he probably shouldn't have slept with the 17-year-old girl he was 24. But that was what happened. We all do stupid things when we're young, don't we? But that rejection, I was rejected in the womb. I carried that rejection for the rest of my life, up until I came to a place of following the fruit to the root and forgiving my biological father, including the one that adopted me, who also rejected me and abused me. I began to see a whole new life for myself. We're going to the phones. We're talking about the power of rejection and how to overcome it. It penetrates your finances. Yes, part of the reason why you're in debt is because you've self-sabotaged yourself due to carrying this spirit of rejection, non-acceptance, even self-hatred will lead you to destroying yourself financially, as well as quitting every good job that you've ever had, walking out when things seem to get hard. Same with being divorced, like, oops, I'm out of here, goodbye. That spirit of rejection, the non-acceptance of yourself and others, will literally destroy, like an atomic bomb, obliterate, even like a nuclear bomb, obliterate, disintegrate, bring to ash everything that is important to you. Jessica is from Tennessee. Jessica, welcome to the Dani Johnson Show. What's your take on rejection? How has it impacted your life?
Hi, Dani. How are you today?
Good.
Good. Well, for me, I've been rejected due to age and being female and for being Puerto Rican, so it affected my life.
Oh, no, you're Puerto Rican? Oh, I can't even believe I'm talking to you right now. Don't you know that Puerto Ricans are not allowed on the Dani Johnson Show? Wait a minute, and you're a woman? Wait, and your name is Jessica. Whoops, how in the world did she not get screened out of calling in today? Come on, girlfriend.
I had a special connection from the guy above. But at any rate, I really learned early on, and it was really painful because when I moved here from the United States from Puerto Rico, I didn't know how to speak English. So I started in the English as a second language course, and teachers and counselors, everybody made fun of me because of my accent. So I made it a goal that I was going to learn English better than anyone else.
And you did, girlfriend, because I cannot tell that you're Puerto Rican.
Thank you.
Your accent's perfect.
Yeah, it was really tough, though, to have people stand you up in front of the class and only to hear your accent so they could laugh.
Wow.
So that was the first rejection that I started feeling, and then it came from men, obviously, and not learning how to handle that, and then in business. But it was so interesting because as I look back in my life, that every single time I was rejected, I was being redirected to something bigger and better.
Yes!
And I had to get to a place, and I'm still working on it. It's an everyday thing, where I had to get to a place where I just had to realize that to be a little bit more tolerant of people's closed minds and pride.
Yes. Yes, and not judge them, and not judge them for their pride. Because if one is judging another for their pride, guess what? They have pride themselves. We've elevated ourselves and think higher of ourselves if we ought, if we are looking at the pride in someone else. Or if we're judging somebody else's closed mind, guess what? They are nothing but a mere reflection of us. We're being closed-minded to them because they're closed-minded.
Absolutely. And I went through a really rough situation in the last couple of months for the rejection part, where some people didn't like me. They didn't even know me, but they didn't like me because of.
Who knows? Who knows?
I thought that it took me back to when I was 8 years old, and I had to work and then remember who I am in God and what He says about me to get back to that place that it's okay, I am who I am, and their opinion of me doesn't matter because my Father's opinion is what matters.
And He says, girlfriend, that you are beautifully made, wonderfully made, that He respects what He made, that when He looks upon you, you take His breath away. That's what He says. He is for you. He is for you. He is for you. He is for you. And it doesn't matter what man or woman is against you. Jessica, I got to touch on this because this is a really important thing. This is a way to deal with rejection from others. And by the way, I love your courage. I absolutely love the courage that is in you. And you said that every time you've been rejected, you've actually been redirected to something better. And here's two things. Number one, you are tested. We all are tested by the praises or the rejection of others. That's what the Bible says. How we respond to rejection determines whether or not we get promoted to a higher leadership level. That's the facts. Also, how we respond to the praises of other people. You see, for some of us, the praises of other people causes us to get puffed up, and we read our own press, and we think higher of ourselves than we ought, which is incredibly dangerous. We've all heard this statement that the worst thing about success is a little bit. So this is about a balanced way to live of, okay, hold on, I need to filter the rejection, filter the acceptance even, the approval and praises of the people. That's something I have to do constantly. I mean, you have to see that daily on our Facebook page and Twitter, as well as through email, we're daily getting, I have stacks. I have oodles and oodles and oodles of stacks of thank you cards. I feel so blessed that I would have such a thing, but I have to filter when I'm getting those thank you cards. I have to filter what people are saying. Dani, you've changed I have to really filter that because I have to go, wait a minute. I can't change anybody's life. Only God can actually do that. And so I love how you turned rejection into an opportunity to be redirected to grow. And that is leadership right there. That is humility. That is the right attitude to have with rejection. And Jessica, I'm really, really, really proud of you. I'm proud of you. He's proud of you. You've handled this appropriately. You've done the right thing. What I've done through the years when people just right off the bat, come on, I'll be getting on a stage in front of 1,200 people, 1,500 people, 1,000 people, and that's a lot of people from around 10 to 15 different nations around the world. And there's always a good portion of the people in the room who look at me, just like those that are in their car right now listening to me, like, who do you think you are? Who are you anyway? Where do you come from? What horse did you ride in on? Okay? Yeah. I don't like your show. Well, then turn the channel. Why are you listening? Okay? I found an approach with rejection that worked really powerfully. Because no matter who we are, no matter how we look, come on, there's some that will reject you if you're heavy. There's others that will reject you because you're thin. There's some that will reject you because you got a messed up nose, and there's others that will reject you because you have a perfect nose. That's the world we live in today, right? Okay, someone will reject you because you're a blonde, others will reject you because you're a brunette, someone will reject you because you're bald. Literally, that's the world that we live in today. It goes to show you the 7th grade, the 12-year-old maturity level of the United States of America today and other nations around the world. I mean, literally, we vote people in because they're good looking? Really? We vote somebody into an important office position because they're good looking? Or we reject somebody because they ain't good looking? When we continue, I'm going to share with you a little secret tip strategy that I've used to handle rejection. We'll continue after this.
Is God calling you to the entertainment industry? Rise for God. Do you want to be an actor, model, singer, or dancer? Shine for God. Do you think the world needs better role models? Be a star for God. Actors, Models, and Talent for Christ is coming to a city near you. A new generation of Christian performers is rising. Call 800-STAR-420 or go to amtcaudition.com. God gave you talent for a reason, to shine for Him. We're searching for actors, models, singers, and dancers. Log on to amtcaudition.com to find out when and where the next audition will be held. Entertainment's the best opportunity for Christians to change the world, and the time is now. Are you ready for the call? Log on amtcaudition.com or call 800-STAR-420. Actors, Models, and Talent for Christ. Register for your audition today. Call 800-STAR-420 or amtcaudition.com.
Okay, if you know me at all, I don't want you spending a penny more than you have to on anything. This is one of those things. If you're a business owner and take credit cards, you're paying too much unless you're working with my friend Kevin at Prestige Merchant Solutions. He's so confident that if he can't save you money, he'll pay you $100. Listen, if you're accepting payment by credit cards, check it out. 850-200-0709. That's 850-200-0709. Kevin guarantees 5-star service. He guarantees he'll save you money, and he'll pay you $100 if he can't. No risk, right? So what are you waiting for? Call today. It's quick to change your current service, incredibly reliable, 24/7 support, and payments are processed quickly. Tell him Dani sent you. There's nothing to lose. Call 850-200-0709. 850-200-0709. Stop overpaying today.
Radio talk show host Dani Johnson in Kadwa, Haiti.
Hi, I'm Dani Johnson, and I'm here with Vida in her tiny little home. This home is the size of many people's closets in the United States of America. Now, we're sitting on a bed, just a piece of sheet or plastic that these beautiful babies sleep on. They have nothing. This family has nothing. No water, no food, nothing. Won't you do something? The Bible says that if you ignore the cry of the poor, then you too will cry and be ignored. They're not asking for nice clothes. They're asking for food. That's it. Food, water. You can help. We want to build her a home. We want to bring water, clean, fresh water here. But we can't do it alone. We need you.
Help us radically change a community. Go to kingsransom.org to make your donation to Kadwa, Haiti. That's kingsransom.org.
As a homeschool parent, you know you've taken a tremendous responsibility. Some children need straightforward academics. Sometimes a child struggles and needs a little extra support. Help is available and is as simple as a few strokes on your computer keyboard at homeschoolworksforyou.com. That's homeschoolworks, the number 4, the letter U.com. Homeschoolworksforyou.com is a terrific program to help homeschoolers and offers classes for grades 5 through 12 and has resources for tutoring, college planning, and testing. All taught from a biblically conservative view. Classes are flexible, and there's a variety of options for the complex schedules. Choose one class or many, depending upon your children's individual needs. Homeschoolworksforyou.com is a convenient online platform designed so all you need is a computer and an internet connection. It's also incredibly affordable. Visit their website today, homeschoolworksforyou.com. That's homeschoolworks, the number 4, the letter U.com.
Here's more great news for Christians. If you're looking for an affordable, God-honoring healthcare solution, the doors are always open at Medishare. As a Christian healthcare sharing ministry, Medishare receives a special provision under the new law, so you're free to enroll anytime. It's affordable with options to fit every budget. It's accepted. You can choose from America's largest network of health providers. And it's portable. You can take it with you wherever you go. Best of all, it's biblical. You never have to pay for things that go against your beliefs. Medishare is health care with peace of mind.
Learn how thousands of Christians can help you save on your health care. For your free information guide, call 855-90-BIBLE. Not available in Montana. Medishare, affordable biblical health care. Call 855-90-BIBLE. That's 855-90-BIBLE.
So there I was getting ready to go to a church that I couldn't stand going to. And you might ask, why in the world would you go to a church that you can't stand going to? Yeah, I loved the time with, worship. That was incredible. I had maybe a friend, one, her name was Mona, that was there. But why did I hate going to that place? I loved the messaging that came. It was the people. I'm telling you, man, the minute we pulled up, I would feel the just hardcore rejection that would be coming at me. I would feel that I could almost hear the cackling of the women and some of the men even. Who she thinks she is, and I don't like her dress. I think it's a little too short. Why do they drive that car? Oh, well, what do they do anyway? I could just hear it. You got to watch out for her. You got to guard your husband. Ew, really? Pretty much everyone inside of that building was like old enough to be my dad, right? And I was young. Ew. But seriously, like all the gossip that was happening, that was rejection. And I began to pray and I began to seek, how can I handle this? Because I would just begin to get more and more closed as I would hear the gossip that would be said about me by people that I did not know, people that I never had a connection with, that I never ever had I never had even a single conversation with. Yet here was the assumptions that were made in a church of all places. Now, I know that doesn't happen at your church, right? No, that doesn't happen at your church. It must have just happened at mine. Gosh, about 10 years we went to this place. It was a bit of a suffering and a death, but I gotta tell you, here's the revelation that I had. People that reject others carry that spirit of rejection. Even people who gossip about others. Those gossipers are gossiping because they carry rejection. They hate themselves. Gossipers don't like themselves. Isn't that just so true? They don't like themselves. They don't like anyone else. It's just a mere reflection of who they are. So here was the strategy that I used, and I hope this strategy helps you too. The revelation I had was go in and heap hot coals on their head. That's a passage in Proverbs, yes, that when you love on those people, you even encourage those people. You smile at those people. You strike up a conversation with those people. It literally is like heaping hot coals on their head. I wanted to make sure that I did not give them a reason to believe what was coming out of their mouths. So literally, I darted in now with an offensive mindset. Rather than being afraid of what they were going to say or my clothes being picked apart or them saying something terrible to one of my children, which happened also, their dislike or distaste for me, then they go after my daughter who loved to dance in front of the church, dancing before the Lord just freely, not caring about what anybody thought. And it's inappropriate that you do that. She's 10 years old. 10 years old. There was nothing seductive in her dance. There was nothing inappropriate in her dance. Oh, it was okay for the older chubby ladies to dance. Oh, but it wasn't okay for the pretty little girl with pigtails to dance before the Lord? Come on now. Really? So anyway, and that actually scarred Erica. It really did. It actually scarred her. It took her a while before she found that seed of rejection that was put there, because all of a sudden this girl stopped doing that. And you know what? The people that spoke that, the people that judged her, the people that gossiped about her, they're going to answer to God someday, because he was the one that was being blessed by the dancing that she was doing before him. Anyway, long story short, I go into church with now an offensive mindset. I don't go into church this time on the defense. I don't go into church assuming that they're going to reject me. But instead, I had a plan. I had a strategy, and I believe it was from God. I said, God, show me who they are. Show me first who the women are, that I may go and be a blessing to them. So he showed me. I went to the most beautiful woman in the church. And I went to her, and I was on my knees on the seat in front of her, turned around, facing her, and I grabbed her hands, and I just said, I want you to know that every time I walk in this place, I always notice how beautiful you are and how beautifully dressed and well put together you are. I love your style. I love the color of your hair. You do such a great job with your makeup. You look awesome. And I can't believe you had all of these kids and you're still that small. I just want you to know, I think you're beautiful. I'm telling you, the smile that lit up on this woman's face, the regeneration that happened inside of her, and now the new connection that happened with her was completely different, friend. Completely 100% different than it was before. Because before, she would look at me with these squinty eyes. Look at you, come on, you know the look, like, who is she? What is she doing here? I wish she didn't go to this church. I even had a woman who left the church and told everybody it was because of me. I didn't even know this woman. Hello, did you hear me? I didn't even know this one. She's like, I just can't stand hearing her voice. I wasn't preaching at that church at all. I never got up and talked to everybody. What, that you could hear me singing? Okay, well, maybe that's a reason to leave the church. She didn't sit in front of me, though. You don't want to hear me sing. You want to hear my daughter sing, but you don't want to hear Dani Johnson sing. It's terrible. I talk. I don't sing. Anyway, so that is a strategy, friend, that you can use. That's an important strategy that you can apply right now, here today. You know who you have. You know who has rejected you. You can feel it in the office. You can feel it even with some of your kids who try to get kind of distance with you. You can feel it with the people at the grocery store. You certainly know who they are at church. I want you to heap hot coals on their head. How? Go and encourage them. Go and compliment them. Go and use a technique that we teach in First Steps to Wealth, which is a book. And it's a communication book, and it's a finance book, and it's a war on debt book. It's about how to totally destroy your debt and destroy your bad toxic relationships, and how to grow your good relationships and grow your career. But we talk about that in one of the chapters in the book, some communication skills that actually will turn that enemy that's gossiping against you into a faithful friend who eventually may even be, yes, a faithful advocate for you. Seriously, on just a simple technique. So since I mentioned the book, hey, listen, I'd love to give you a free copy of that. As we're heading into hour 2 of the Dani Johnson Show, pick up your free copy of First Steps to Wealth. It's an ebook, or if you'd like a hard copy, not a hard copy, a physical copy of the book, you can dial 866-760-8255. Again, that's 866-760-8255. 866-760-8255. Get your free copy of First Steps to Wealth, either in an ebook form or in a physical copy. You pay the shipping, we'll send you the $15 book. I think that's a fair deal. Anyway, get that copy now, or you can go to DaniJohnson.com. All right, so we're going to continue this conversation. How have you overcome rejection in your life? I just gave one personal strategy. I also talked about, how it negatively affects you. But moving forward, in hour 2, we've got 5 people on hold right now, ready to either talk about how it's hurting them and needing help, or how they've been able to overcome. 844-200-3264 is my number. Again, that's 844-200-DANI. Call in. I've got one line open. You can call in right now. And by the way, if it goes to voicemail, just leave your comment or your question right now, and we will get to it. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with hour 2 right after this.
Is God calling you to the entertainment industry? Rise for God. Do you want to be an actor, model, singer, or dancer? Shine for God. Do you think the world world needs better role models? Be a star for God. Actors, Models, and Talent for Christ is coming to a city near you. A new generation of Christian performers is rising. Call 800-STAR-420 or go to amtcaudition.com. God gave you talent for a reason, to shine for Him. We're searching for actors, models, singers, and dancers. Log on to amtcaudition.com to find out when and where the next audition will be held. Entertainment's the best opportunity for Christians to change the world, and the time is now. Are you ready for the call? Log on amtcaudition.com or call 800-STAR-420. Actors, Models, and Talent for Christ. Register for your audition today. Call 800-STAR-420 or amtcaudition.com.
Dani Johnson.
98% of the population will end up dead or dead broke by the age of 65.
Dani Johnson.
The question I have for you, is that how you want to be?
Is that the life that you want?
Well, if you look at what everybody else is doing and you live the way they are, then that's what you're going to have.
Why live under the burden of debt?
I say, look at what everybody else is doing and do the opposite.
Dani Johnson.
You know, it's really lame when you've got those feelings like everyone is against you, nobody wants to be for you, and you seem to always have a jerk magnet on your forehead. You always seem to find the boss that hates you and is against you and is micromanaging you. You always seem to be the person that ends up dating women or men, hopefully. Anyway, forget it. Dating, if you're a guy, you're dating a girl. If you're a girl, you're dating a guy that always seems to want to hurt you. Have you found yourself in that situation? Then that is a sign, my friend, that you are carrying a spirit of rejection, a seed of rejection. Whether you got it on the playground, in grammar school, or for some teacher that just had it out for you, some teacher that was demented and retarded in their head, that somehow like to pick on little kids. Those are nice teachers, aren't they? Unfortunately, those teachers exist. Either that or you are the wrong size. Therefore, the church might reject you, whatever size that might be, depending on where in the world that you live. Even the amount of money that you make. It's incredible to me how asinine and immature people can be with their ridiculous assumptions. But the bottom line is that vast majority of our population today is carrying the seed of rejection. I don't like her. I don't know why. I don't like him. Maybe it's because he's bald. Maybe it's because he has gray hair. Wait a minute. I don't like that guy. He's too young. You know, people can be so stupid. And unfortunately, they're letting something out of their mouth or out of their face or out of their body language is actually hurting people instead of helping people. John Powell had a quote, "Human beings grow in the soil of acceptance, not in the atmosphere of rejection." Take that home with you today. Take that to the office with you today. Look in the mirror and accept yourself today. Dani, I would accept myself if I was about 200 pounds lighter. Shut your mouth. You are never going to lose 200 pounds if you have already rejected yourself. Self-rejection will put a lot of weight on your body, or it'll go the other way. Self-rejection will cause you to be anorexic or bulimic or swallowing 75 laxatives a day like my old friend Michelle used to do. Rejection plays a part in our lives. You want to make sure that you are not a person of rejection, constantly spewing the evil rejection from your mouth, but being somebody who is developing an environment of acceptance. So how has rejection affected your finances, your career, or your marriage? I want you to share with me. Let's look for solutions. And if you have already had a solution to rejection, we really need to hear that too. 844-200-3264 is that number. We've got line 3, Cynthia from Indiana. Cynthia, welcome to the Dani Johnson Show. Cynthia, are you there? Have you muted yourself? Because your line is open. Hi. You could say hi. Okay, you're not going to say hi. Okay, we've got Barbara from Colorado on line 4. Barbara, welcome to the Dani Johnson Show.
Hey.
Hi.
I am, I take it you want to hear my comment I made on Facebook, I was told.
Go for it.
Well, so that I can get through it, I'm just going to read it if that's okay.
Come on, honey. I know that you could, if it's an emotional thing, I want you to just tell me, how has rejection affected your life?
Well, it has everything that you have already shared on the show has pretty much been true. It has pretty much destroyed every area of my life. However, you know, God has really, you talk a lot about the seed and the root and where things come from, and God has, in the last several years, been helping me to see where that has come from. And
where did it come from, Barbara? Tell me.
Well, it started when I was just a little girl with my mom. And
what did she say to you, or what did she do?
It was more just what she did and how she treated me. I was born and raised Amish, and my mom had lost her firstborn child at 15 months old.
Oh gosh!
When before I was born.
Wow!
And this is the miracle of the whole thing, Dani, because my mom, except to tell me about the fact that I had a brother, and you know that she lost him and all of that. My mom never talked about it, but God recently showed me the things that, you know. First of all, being Amish, you don't talk about a lot of stuff. Everything is, you know, kept internal. You don't go to counseling. You don't learn how to deal with grief. You don't learn how to talk about the things that are going on. And so, you know, now that I just recently, you know, my marriage ended, and, well, actually still in the middle of that, supposed to be filing for divorce this month, actually.
Wow. Gosh.
And
Barbara, I'm so sorry. First of all, I want to speak into something right now. When a mother loses her child, she's afraid to love another one. She's afraid to be in a vulnerable place, to give her whole heart over to especially that next child. And that's what caused that pain right there between you and your mom. She was afraid to give her whole heart over to another baby in fear of the baby being taken away from her. And this is what is so sad, Barbara, because this kind of thing happens a lot, where the mother doesn't realize she's even doing it. She doesn't even know that she's not connecting. She doesn't even know that she's withdrawing and keeping the child literally at arm's length. And then pretty soon the arm's length becomes, you know, many feet, and then a giant divide. And there's no emotional connectivity there. It's more of, it's a task to take care of this baby. And I know if she had to do it all over again, she would do it differently. And wow, it's a crazy thing that your experience with the Amish culture growing up Amish is that no one talks about these things. That eventually results into a lot of rebellion and some hidden sin. Hidden things like, I don't know, pornography, adultery, food issues, addictions to things privately, whether it's alcohol or drugs or a number of other things. And so that's kind of a sad thing. And so, Barbara, I'm happy to hear that you're moving through that rejection and you're allowing God to heal you, because that's what he wants. He wants to heal you because he has accepted you and he planted you in your mother's womb for a purpose. And he chose you to live longer than your brother. He chose for you to live out your days here on planet Earth, and he's going to use you in a powerful way. And I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, because you've suffered through rejection from your mother as a child, I'm sure you have a heart, as you're being healed of this, you now have a heart for those who've been rejected. And I think often that that's the reason why God allows us to go through these things, because we got a world all over the place of hurting people. We really do. We have people who are hurting all over the place. We have a people who are suffering internally. And just like what you said, the culture you grew up in, you're not allowed to talk about it. You're just not allowed to talk about it. You got to stuff it, stuff it, stuff it. Eventually, that which you've stuffed explodes. Eventually, it explodes. It comes out sideways with some bad habits and some pain that wants to fly out of your mouth and attack other people. And so I love that you've sought out the Lord, that you've sought out that healing, because in that healing and restoration, God is going to use you to bring healing and restoration to others just through your testimony. Barbara, thank you so much for calling. I appreciate you tremendously. I appreciate you for having the courage to share these deep wounds and hurts. And I know you're already in the process of forgiving your mother and breaking that tie of rejection and abandonment, self-rejection, self-hatred with her, as well as breaking that judgment that you might have against your mom too. Thanks so much for the call. I've got Kelly on line 5 from Oklahoma. Kelly, welcome to the Dani Johnson Show. Share with us what's your take on rejection.
Yes, I am. One thing when I read the comment on rejection, I had to figure out that I'm not perfect, and that other people, when they rejected, it's not like me as far as relationships or relationships that didn't make it. That sometimes those God saying no and being okay with that no. That it's not that the man didn't want me. It wasn't about me. It was just that wasn't the man for me.
Nice, nice. So you did not internalize as rejection, meaning if it didn't work out with a man that you were courting, or the guy was courting you. I think that's usually how that goes, is the guy was courting you. But in that situation, you did not take it personally. And that is important. That's an important strategy, because whenever we take things personally, we've really operated in pride. We've operated in this places we're thinking of ourselves too much. When we think of ourselves too much, that's a form of idolatry. It's a giant ego. So I love what Kelly said. Wait a minute, there's a breakup with the man. It's not that the man is rejecting me. It is that God said no. And why would God say no? Because he wants to protect you. Because he has something better for you. Because he's got something in store for you far, far, far more better than anything that you could ever ask for, hope for, or even imagine. Kelly, I love that mindset, and that's important, and that's a mindset that brings success. That's the same mindset that has to be used in business or your career. Same mindset that has to be used with relationships with people from all over, is that, hey, God said no. And you know what? I'm good if he said no. I am completely okay if he said no, because he knows what's best. So don't harbor in pain. Don't harbor in the suffering of what you feel like, oh, they did it to me. If only I was better. If only I was prettier. If only. No, that's a bunch of nonsense. Total nonsense. It is time to realize that sometimes God says no. And it's for your good. It's not for your bad. It's not for your destruction. It's for your good. It's for your good. He has your best in mind. That's what I have found out to be true. But I'm telling you what, when I was carrying that spirit of rejection, I thought God was against me. I thought he hated me. I thought he made a mistake when he made me. That's what I used to think about God. But I've been set free, healed, and delivered of that spirit of rejection. We'll continue with more of the Dani Johnson Show right after this.
Radio talk show host Dani Johnson in Kadwa, Haiti.
Hi, I'm Dani Johnson, and I'm here with Vida in her tiny little home. This home is the size of many people's closets in the United States of America. Now, we're sitting on a bed, just a piece of sheet or plastic that these beautiful babies sleep on. They have nothing. This family has nothing. No water, no food, nothing. Won't you do something? The Bible says that if you ignore the cry of the poor, then you too will cry and be ignored. They're not asking for nice clothes. They're asking for food. That's it. Food, water. You can help. We want to build her a home. We want to bring water, clean, fresh water here, but we can't do it alone. We need you.
Help us radically change a community. Go to kingsransom.org to make your donation to Kadwa, Haiti. That's kingsransom.org.
As a homeschool parent, you know you've taken a tremendous responsibility. Some children need straightforward academics. Sometimes a child struggles and needs a little extra support. Help is available and is as simple as a few strokes on your computer keyboard at homeschoolworksforyou.com. That's homeschoolworks, the number 4, the letter U.com. Homeschoolworksforyou.com is a terrific program to help homeschoolers and offers classes for grades 5 through 12 and has resources for tutoring, college planning, and testing, all taught from a biblically conservative view. Classes are flexible, and there's a variety of options for the complex schedules. Choose one class or many, depending upon your children's individual needs. Homeschoolworksforyou.com is a convenient online platform designed so all you need is a computer and an internet connection. It's also incredibly affordable. Visit their website today, homeschoolworksforyou.com. That's homeschoolworks, the number 4, the letter U.com. Dani Johnson here, and you're listening to The Dani Johnson Show with tens of thousands of people just like you. People thinking about what you think about, talking about what you talk about, and needing the same products and services you need. It's a place where like-minded consumers gather, savvy business owners, marketing directors, and responsive individuals making significant buying decisions. From consumer home goods and services to business products, people just like you needing the same things you need. They should be buying your product and service or doing business with your company. I'd love to help. To find out how to advertise on this show, email info@intelerep.com. That's info at intelerep.com, or call 251-928-9400. That's info@intelerep.com or 251-928-9400.
Did you know there's a healthcare solution that honors your Christian beliefs, is affordable, and acceptable under the new law? It's Medishare, a thriving community of believers across America who share each other's medical bills. Members live healthy, God-honoring lifestyles, which makes it really affordable, and you'll find options to fit every budget. It's accepted by America's largest network of health providers, and there's no enrollment period. You can join anytime. Best of all, it's biblical. You never pay for things you don't believe in. Medishare is a sensible healthcare solution for Christians.
Learn how thousands of Christians can help you save on your health care. For your free information guide, call 855-90-BIBLE. Not available in Montana. Medishare, affordable biblical health care. Call 855-90-BIBLE. That's 855-90-BIBLE.
Is God calling you to the entertainment industry? Rise for God. Do you want to be an actor, model, singer, or dancer? Shine for God. Do you think the world needs better role models? Be a star for God. Actors, Models, and Talent for Christ is coming to a city near you. A new generation of Christian performers is rising. Call 800-STAR-420 or go to amtcaudition.com. God gave you talent for a reason, to shine for Him. We're searching for actors, models, singers, and dancers. Log on to amtcaudition.com to find out when and where the next audition will be held. Entertainment's the best opportunity for Christians to change the world, and the time is now. Are you ready for the call? Log on amtcaudition.com or call 800-STAR-420. Actors, Models, and Talent for Christ. Register for your audition today. Call 800-STAR-420 or amtcaudition.com.
Welcome to the international headquarters of your new future. And now, back to the Dani Johnson Show.
It's important to overcome and to be and to learn and to get the skills of being an overcomer. Why? Because, my friend, there's always going to be people in our lives that don't agree with us. There's always going to be people in our lives that stand against us. In fact, some of them are purposely sent to us just to razz us, just to be against us. And why? To test us. How will we respond when we are rejected, when our ideas are thrown away, when quickly somebody goes, nope, don't agree with it. Nope, that's out of here. I don't like what you just said. How do we respond to that? Well, I'll tell you what, if you're anything like myself and you've got a past of being rejected by your biological father and the man that adopted you, yeah, when you've been rejected a lot as a kid, well, whenever somebody doesn't agree with you, one of two things are going to happen depending on who you are and what your personality is. So one could be if you're one of those quiet, shy kind of people, you're just going to go, oh gosh, you shut down is what you do. You shut down, you bow down, you begin to have no opinion, you begin to be afraid to speak up, you begin to be afraid to share your thoughts, your hopes, your dreams. Been there, done that. Or part two. Your second response to rejection of others when they quickly come down on your idea or something you're excited about and they're like, meh, meh. They just want to stomp on it. Kind of like a 300-pound gorilla, just bam, just jumped on top of you. Well, the other kind of the personality goes, really? And then you just want to get in an all-out brawl. Even some of you Christian brothers. Yeah, even some of you Christian brothers, you still want to grab that gorilla by the neck and say, get off and shut up. You know you do. I've been in both of those scenarios. I really have. I've had the 300-pound gorilla come at me many times, shutting me down, shut up, just rejecting everything that I say, right? Oh, look at the beautiful sunset today. Boy, can you see the lavender? That ain't lavender, that's blue. Gosh, you know what I mean? All right, that's a nice color green shirt. This ain't green. It's gray. But I'm telling you what, if you got rejection issues from your past, oh my gosh, that kind of a person is going to rub you so wrong. It's going to provoke two bad responses out of you. But if you've been healed, set free and delivered, or if you were in the process of digging through, being healed of all of that rejection, like I have done for years, then guess what happens? They can reject your opinion, your idea. They can try to shut you down all they like. And you, in honor and in respect, can just let them have their own opinion, but you don't have to receive it as rejection. We're talking about the power of rejection in our lives, how it infiltrates our finances. Yeah, it infiltrates almost every single area of our lives. It's terrible thing, but it doesn't have to continue. So if you have overcome, I'd like you to call me, 844-200-3264. Again, that's 844-200-3264. If you need help overcoming, that's what today's show is about, because rejection will cause you to reject your dreams, sabotage your finances, even sabotage your weight. Yep. Rejection actually affects the food choices that you make every single day. I've got on line 6 from Massachusetts. Welcome to the Dani Johnson Show. Is it Wedley?
Yes, it's Wedley. How are you?
What a great name.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, what's your take on rejection? How has it affected you?
Well, my husband left me for another woman that he met while he was working. And I felt like I was hit by a big train.
Gosh.
At first, I felt lost. And it was kind of a weird situation because we were living with his parents. And so it came with shame, embarrassment. And I was a total mess for a while.
Like how long? Like, did it take years? Could you imagine you're living with his parents and he leaves you for another woman? Like, he did that in front of his parents.
Exactly. And he left me in the house too.
So he moved out with another woman, leaving his current wife? Oh my gosh. Okay, just hold on. We've got to cut to a quick break. I got to hear the rest of this. And how have you healed? How have you overcome? Because you know what? There's lots of people listening right now. They've had that happen to them. Whether it's a husband whose wife left him for a younger man or a wealthier man or the other way around. In your situation, gosh, hit by a truck in the gut, girlfriend. That's terrible. Oh, I want to get my hands on that man. We'll continue in just one moment. Okay, if you know me at all, I don't want you spending a penny more than you have to on anything. This is one of those things. If you're a business owner and take credit cards, you're paying too much unless you're working with my friend Kevin at Prestige Merchant Solutions. He's so confident that if he can't save you money, he'll pay you $100. Listen, if you're accepting payment by credit cards, check it out. 850-200-0709. That's 850-200-0709. Kevin guarantees 5-star service. He guarantees he'll save you money and he'll pay you $100 if he can't. No risk, right? So what are you waiting for? Call today. It's quick to change your current service, incredibly reliable, 24/7 support, and payments are processed quickly. Tell him Dani sent you. There's nothing to lose. Call 850-200-0709. 850-200-0709. Stop overpaying today. As a homeschool parent, you know you've taken a tremendous responsibility. Some children need straightforward academics. Sometimes a child struggles and needs a little extra support. Help is available and is as simple as a few strokes on your computer keyboard at homeschoolworksforyou.com. That's homeschoolworks, the number 4, the letter U.com. Homeschoolworksforyou.com is a terrific program to help homeschoolers and offers classes for grades 5 through 12 and has resources for tutoring, college planning, and testing, all taught from a biblically conservative view. Classes are flexible, and there's a variety of options for the complex schedules. Choose one class or many, depending upon your children's individual needs. Homeschoolworksforyou.com is a convenient online platform designed so all you need is a computer and an internet connection. It's also incredibly affordable. Visit their website today, homeschoolworksforyou.com. That's homeschoolworks, the number 4, the letter U.com. Okay, if you know me at all, I don't want you spending a penny more than you have to on anything. This is one of those things. If you're a business owner and take credit cards, you're paying too much unless you're working with my friend Kevin at Prestige Merchant Solutions. He's so confident that if he can't save you money, he'll pay you $100. Listen, if you're accepting payment by credit cards, check it out. 850-200-0709. That's 850-200-0709. Kevin guarantees 5-star service. He guarantees he'll save you money and he'll pay you $100 if he can't. No risk, right? So what are you waiting for? Call today. It's quick to change your current service, incredibly reliable, 24/7 support, and payments are processed quickly. Tell him Dani sent you. There's nothing to lose. Call 850-200-0709. 850-200-0709. Stop overpaying today.
Radio talk show host Dani Johnson in Kadwa, Haiti.
Hi, I'm Dani Johnson, and I'm here with Vida in her tiny little home. This home is the size of many people's closets in the United States of America. Now, we're sitting on a bed, just a piece of sheet or plastic that these beautiful babies sleep on. They have nothing. This family has nothing. No water, no food, nothing. Won't you do something? The Bible says that if you ignore the cry of the poor, then you too will cry and be ignored. They're not asking for nice clothes. They're asking for food. That's it. Food, water. You can help. We want to build her a home. We want to bring water, clean, fresh water here. But we can't do it alone. We need you.
Help us radically change your community. Go to kingsransom.org to make your donation to Kadwa, Haiti. That's kingsransom.org.
You tell yourself that life isn't that bad. You relish the small pleasures. Drive-through coffee, big screen TV, vacations bought on credit cards. But that's as good as life gets unless you take a leap of faith. This is millionaire author, radio and television show host Dani Johnson, inviting you to join me for 2 days where you will acquire the skills to make the life you crave a reality. Call now 844-200-DANI or visit firststepstosuccess.com.
Ever wondered how to advertise on the Dani Johnson Show with tens of thousands of people just like you listening, thinking about the things you do, talking about the things you do, and needing products and services you need? Savvy business owners and marketing directors advertise on the Dani Johnson Show. Advertise your products or services on the Dani Johnson Show. Email info@intellerep.com or call 251-928-9400, 251-928-9400.
There is no one else
like this lady right here. And now, back to the Dani Johnson Show.
Could you imagine? You and your husband are living with his parents. And he meets a chick at work, and he decides to move out and move in with her. That's exactly what happened with Wedley in Massachusetts. He's on the line right now. Wow, girlfriend. Yeah, you said you felt like you got hit by a truck, man. That right when you were telling the story, honey, it hit my belly. Like, oh, like that had to knock the wind out of you. Gosh.
It was. I went through several different emotions. First, rejection, and then I didn't feel beautiful enough. And plus, I was embarrassed being in the house because I don't have any family. My whole entire family lives in Haiti, so it was just me, and I had nowhere to go. And I felt completely lost, and I found my way back through the power of Christ. And I started going to counseling to see a Christian counselor by myself and to navigate through the divorce process, first of all. And so I have to say that the one thing that helped me get over the rejection really was forgiveness.
Yes.
It was forgiveness because I felt because of what happened that I had the right to be mad.
Yes.
I had the right to hate him. I had the right to be mad against his entire family. Yes. I had the right to be even mad at God because I'm like, well, I did everything right, and why is this happening to me? And then every time I prayed about it, I kept coming back to the same thing. You have to forgive this man, and you have to bless him and the other woman. And I'm like, no way. I'm like, no way. I'm not going to do that because I'm the victim here.
And I am going to take my fingernails and claw that broad with everything that is in me. Oh, my
exactly.
God.
And I tried. But what was happening when I was holding on to the hurt was that every single thing that I tried to do, I was failing. I was failing at everything. Everything I tried to do for myself to get back on I was failing miserably.
Yeah.
So finally I said, okay, God, I'm just going to obey and forgive. And I didn't know what to pray for. I said, okay, I'll just pray, God bless him.
Yes.
Bless this woman, bless him.
Yes.
And I kept praying that. And I just opened up my heart to God and let it out and the emotions, everything.
Yes.
And it took some time, little by little. Every time I prayed about it, I started seeing that because he used to go to church and he just stopped. So something broke with him, his relationship with God. And I started thinking, you can't expect someone who walked away from God to see marriage, the covenant, the same way.
Exactly.
So that's where the forgiveness came because I said, let me just pray for him to find his way back to God, and then just forget about revenge, forget about what the outcome is going to be for him. Let me focus on my relationship with God, and that's really what happened. And then things started turning around for me. Things started to turn around because I learn to forgive. It was really hard but when you don't want to forgive, you become a victim. Yes. And I was stuck in the victim mentality. Yes. And I was identifying myself all the time as a victim.
Yes.
And pretty soon I was wearing out everyone around me because they got tired of hearing the story. They're like, yeah, you're right. I know it happened to you. It's terrible. But you gotta move on.
Yeah.
But I realized that only God can understand what I'm going through. Only God can give me the healing that I'm looking for.
That's
so I stopped talking about it with friends. I just got on my knees every night. And I have my mom to thank for that because my mom, she was with me long distance, mind you, long distance.
Yeah.
She would call me every day and urge me to pray and urge me to forgive. She said, I know it's hard.
Wow.
She said, I know it's hard. Believe me, you're going to get through it. And he came, I think 3 years later, his attitude changed. I mean, we got divorced, but now he's more supportive with our child. And he talks to me differently. his whole entire attitude changed. And I realized that his attitude is changing because I changed.
That's exactly right.
That I hate, and I don't keep throwing at his face his adultery.
Right. That's right.
I said, I forgive you. Whatever it is, that's between you and God.
That's right.
That's none of my business.
Yep.
But right now, my focus is us parenting our child.
Amen. Amen. I'm so glad you brought up, because I was going to ask you if you actually had a child with him, because that also is a whole nother dynamic of scary, terrible, hurtful things that happen. I got to tell you, Wendy, I am so very, very proud of you. My gosh, woman. And that's the right thing. Now, here's the deal. The other flip side of the coin is this, and this is really important. When we won't forgive somebody, we are saying we've never done something wrong. When we want revenge, we're kind of saying and elevating ourselves in a position of sinless. But in all reality, we have all fallen short, every single one of us. And we can sit there and say, but I haven't committed adultery. Well, according to the Bible, even if you look upon somebody in lust, that's adultery. If you've had sex out of marriage, that's adultery. Let's go here. If you've worshiped other gods, that is what the Bible also calls adultery. I don't worship other gods, Dani. I'm a Christian. I only worship the one true God. Really? Do you worry about finances all the time? Do you think about money all the time? Do you spend more than you make all the time? Come on. Then you have committed adultery, according to the Bible. That is idolatry of mammon. That's idolatry of the god called Baal. He's the fertility god. That is God's arch enemy back way back in the day, who is still being worshipped even today, including Ashtoreth, whose name in English is Easter. That everyone just finished celebrating Easter with bunnies and eggs. She is a fertility goddess. Really? You haven't committed adultery? Come on now. When you walk away from God and now you would put your life all into other things, it could be that you think about business and finance or people more than you think about God. You love your children more than you love God. That actually is adultery. So whenever we will not forgive somebody else, we have really become blinded to the amount of forgiveness that we've already received from Him. That's the bottom line. And if we won't forgive, He won't forgive us. It's the unforgivable sin is unforgiveness. It's kind of a crazy thing. Wendy, thank you so much for, having the courage, the humility to share. I loved every part of what you were saying, especially wearing out your friends, and you wore the identity of victim, and that's what we do. Those of us who've been rejected, we will. I'm the victim, and guess what you become? The victim again and again and again and again. I love that you are an overcomer, because by the blood of Yeshua, Jesus in English, Yeshua the Christ, the Messiah, we can overcome anything. And I mean that, absolutely anything, including what you just heard, this awesome testimony that this powerful woman has made the choice to forgive and bless, and it's turned everything around. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, we've also got Cynthia from Indiana. Welcome to the Dani Johnson Show.
Hello.
Hi. What's your take on rejection?
Oh, well, mine was not my dad. I had an awesome dad. Mine would have been more my mother, trying to live up to her standards and never good enough to do. And it's ironic that I'm the one that's taking care of her now.
Oh. Okay, hold on a second, Cynthia, because there's mothers listening right now, and many of them who have also rejected their children, but they don't even know it. So I want us to get into more of the specifics. What specifically, how did you feel rejected by your mother? You said something about standards that you could never meet, but give me something specific and emotional on that.
Well, it was always, I was never as smart as my sister. I was never.
So what would she say?
Well, that, you need to try harder. How come you can't be like your sister? You need to, how come you did it that way? It was just constant. No matter how I did it, it never was good enough.
So when she would say, why can't you be as smart as your sister? Why can't you do it like your sister? What did that make you feel like?
Nothing. And as a child, you don't look at it that way. You just think, okay, I just need to do it better. I just need to do it. I have to change. I have everything. The Runaway Bride movie was like me to a T with my mother. And then all my relationships with men, because I always had to change to make them like me.
You know what? And so many people are doing that. I know exactly what you're saying. So many people do that. And that's where I say that rejection will cause you even to spend foolishly. We're going to continue on with this. I want to hear how you've been able to move past this, or even how it's affected your life. There are solutions for this. I don't want you to be taken over by rejection. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more after this.
Is God calling you to the entertainment industry? Rise for God. Do you want to be an actor, model, singer, or dancer? Shine for God. Do you think the world needs better role models? Be a star for God. Actors, Models, and Talent for Christ is coming to a city near you. A new generation of Christian performers is rising. Call 800-STAR-420 or go to amtcaudition.com. God gave you talent for a reason, to shine for Him. We're searching for actors, models, singers, and dancers. Log on to amtcaudition.com to find out when and where the next audition will be held. Entertainment's the best opportunity for Christians to change the world, and the time is now. Are you ready for the call? Log on amtcaudition.com or call 800-STAR-420. Actors, Models, and Talent for Christ. Register for your audition today. Call 800-STAR-420 or amtcaudition.com.
Okay, if you know me at all, I don't want you spending a penny more than you have to on anything. This is one of those things. If you're a business owner and take credit cards, you're paying too much unless you're working with my friend Kevin at Prestige Merchant Solutions. He's so confident that if he can't save you money, he'll pay you $100. Listen, if you're accepting payment by credit cards, check it out. 850-200-0709. That's 850-200-0709. Kevin guarantees 5-star service. He guarantees he'll save you money, and he'll pay you $100 if he can't. No risk, right? So what are you waiting for? Call today. It's quick to change your current service, incredibly reliable, 24/7 support, and payments are processed quickly. Tell him Dani sent you. There's nothing to lose. Call 850-200-0709. 850-200-0709. Stop overpaying today.
Radio talk show host Dani Johnson in Kadwa, Haiti.
Hi, I'm Dani Johnson, and I'm here with Vida in her tiny little home. This home is the size of many people's closets in the United States of America. Now, we're sitting on a bed, just a piece of sheet or plastic that these beautiful babies sleep on. They have nothing. This family has nothing. No water, no food, nothing. Won't you do something? The Bible says that if you ignore the cry of the poor, then you too will cry and be ignored. They're not asking for nice clothes. They're asking for food. That's it. Food, water. You can help. We want to build her a home. We want to bring water, clean, fresh water here. But we can't do it alone. We need you.
Help us radically change your community. Go to kingsransom.org to make your donation to Kadwa, Haiti. That's kingsransom.org.
As a homeschool parent, you know you've taken a tremendous responsibility. Some children need straightforward academics. Sometimes a child struggles and needs a little extra support. Help is available and is as simple as a few strokes on your computer keyboard at homeschoolworksforyou.com. That's homeschoolworks, the number 4, the letter U.com. Homeschoolworksforyou.com is a terrific program to help homeschoolers and offers classes for grades 5 through 12 and has resources for tutoring, college planning, and testing, all taught from a biblically conservative view. Classes are flexible, and there's a variety of options for the complex schedules. Choose one class or many, depending upon your children's individual needs. Homeschoolworksforyou.com is a convenient online platform designed so all you need is a computer and an internet connection. It's also incredibly affordable. Visit their website today, homeschoolworksforyou.com. That's homeschoolworks, the number 4, the letter U.com. Dani Johnson here, and you're listening to The Dani Johnson Show with tens of thousands of people just like you. People thinking about what you think about, talking about what you talk about, and needing the same products and services you need. It's a place where like-minded consumers gather, savvy business owners, marketing directors, and responsive individuals making significant buying decisions. From consumer home goods and services to business products, people just like you needing the same things you need. They should be buying your product and service or doing business with your company. I'd love to help. To find out how to advertise on this show, email info@intelerep.com. That's info@intelerep.com. Or call 251-928-9400. That's info@intelerep.com or 251-928-9400. Have you ever heard the words, why can't you be more like, and fill in the blank? Could have been the name of your sister, your brother, even your cousin, or Joey down the street. Did you grow up in a house where your mother or your father constantly compared you to other people, showing that everyone else was better than you? And no matter how hard you tried, it never was good enough. Oh, you would do your absolute best to clean off that kitchen table after dinner, and you'd be ready to hear, good job, you did a great job, but instead you would hear, you missed this spot, you missed that spot, why can't you just do this more like your sister? Did you hear things like that? Well, Cynthia has, and in hearing things like that, I want you to hear about what part this rejection from a mother has played in this daughter's life. Cynthia, welcome back.
It's Christina.
It says Christina. I mean, it says Cynthia. Thank you, Christina.
There you go. No problem.
Sorry about that. How did that then turn into your adult life of feeling like you were never going to be good enough?
Well, after years of dealing with, you know, you don't do it right, then she gives you the silent treatment, then you go bend over backwards and you try to do it. You purposely go out of your way to do it however it would to appease her. I found that when I would meet gentlemen, and I'm the woman at the well that Jesus said, you know, the one you're with now is not not even your husband, and you got all these other, you have a track record. Yes. Okay, that would be me. Because I would meet men, and then I would like, you know, football because they like football, or I would like whatever because they like this, and I was never allowed to be me. So after my last relationship was like the pit of the pit.
Yeah, because they don't get better, do they? They don't get better when you're carrying that rejection. Yeah. They get worse every single time.
It's been 9 years since I've been on a date. I just finally quit. I'm done. I'm done. I'm not going to do this anymore. Wow. Because I finally, after the last one, which was just horrific, I was done.
Yeah.
But I also too, and in all this stuff, became more rebellious.
Yes, and that's always the case. It's always the case, Christina. It's amazing to me that when parents do not possess the skill on how to pull the best out in their children, even the children that always make mistakes, when those parents don't sandwich correction with encouragement on both sides, what they do is they provoke rebellion out of those children. And then they've got a bigger problem, and that child will now go and start to destroy their life. And Cynthia, I know exactly what you're talking about because my dad was that same way. I never did anything good enough. Nothing. There was absolutely nothing that I could do to actually please him. And I did the same thing. I found myself trying to change who I was, and I didn't even know who I was at some point because I was trying to become a chameleon around every guy that I would date and trying to gain acceptance. And that just stinks. The one who you need acceptance from has already accepted you. The one who you need acceptance from has already accepted you. The reality is, we cannot conform to the opinions of man, but we are to conform to the image of Christ, who didn't give a rip about anybody else's opinion. Because if he did care about other people's opinion, hello, they would not have hung him on the cross. He didn't care about the popular vote at all. He knew who he was. So it starts here. It starts with forgiveness. Christina, thank you so much for calling and sharing. Girl, could I identify with you or what? Yes, big time. It takes courage to face our past, but it also takes courage to forgive the one that would not love us, the one that would not encourage us. And the reality is this: you're not going to change your mom. She probably doesn't even realize what she's done. She didn't realize the power she had in her own mouth. In fact, she gained her parenting skills, I'm sure, from her own mother, who I'm sure also did the same thing to her. That's where she learned it from. Bad parenting skills being passed on generation to generation to generation that then results in all kinds of crazy hurt and pain and suffering. But we have to do the right thing. As adults, we're no longer that child that's being pointed out everything we're doing wrong. As adults, we can make a choice to reach for healing and restoration. We can reach for reconciliation with our Father in heaven, who doesn't look down on us saying, you did that wrong, you did that wrong, you did that wrong. No, he looks down upon us. If we have confessed our sins before him, then he says that all he sees is the blood of Jesus over us. The blood of the Lamb covers us, completely covers us of all of our unrighteousness, all of our wickedness, all of the evil that is within us. When we confess that to him, then he washes it clean. And the only way for healing and restoration with other human beings is through the power of forgiveness. That's the only way. It's the only way. It's the only way. You know, I've had God confront me on things like that before, like, I don't want to forgive somebody. Well, okay, I guess you don't want me to forgive you. Okay, I usually buckle right there. But then here's another one. Forgive as I have forgiven you. Oy. Did you hear that? Forgive as I have forgiven you. It's powerful. You've been forgiven of much. I've been forgiven of much. And I'm going to be forgiven of much moving forward, too, because this girl ain't perfect. Just look at that grammatical error right there. But seriously, if we have been forgiven much, then it is our duty to forgive much of others. So break that hardened heart today. Break the animosity. Also break the distrust that you might have with other human beings in your life. Because as you do that, you get free. It's not releasing them from the responsibility of what they did. That's between them and God. That's the reality. That is between them and God. Whatever unconfessed sin that they have before the Lord, there will be a book opened up one day. And every single sin that they have committed against him and others is going to be in that book. Okay? Some people have got books that are like, wow, you know, the size of what the first computers were. They took up entire buildings. I want to make sure that there's not a gigantic book on me. I want to make sure that every time I've sinned against myself, my God, and my fellow man, that is accounted for. God, please forgive me. And I want to go to that person that I've offended, that I've hurt, that I put down, that I've berated, and say, please forgive me. I was completely wrong. I was completely wrong. I want to do better next time, and I ask you hold me accountable. This is Dani Johnson. I hope that you've enjoyed today's show on rejection and how to overcome so much awesome content that every single person, including Christina, our very last caller, brought into this. What an awesome, powerful conversation. You might want to share this show with some other people. Maybe let them go to our archives on our website, DaniJohnson.com. Well, today is over, at least for the Dani Johnson Show. We'll talk to you tomorrow. God bless you. Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.
Did you know there's a healthcare solution that honors your Christian beliefs, is affordable, and acceptable under the new law? It's Medishare, a thriving community of believers across America who share each other's medical bills. Members live healthy, God-honoring lifestyles, which makes it really affordable, and you'll find options to fit every budget. It's accepted by America's largest network of health providers, and there's no enrollment period. You can join anytime. Best of all, it's biblical. You never pay for things you don't believe in. Medishare is a sensible healthcare solution for Christians.
Learn how thousands of Christians can help you save on your health care. For your free information guide, call 855-90-BIBLE. Not available in Montana. Medishare, affordable biblical health care. Call 855-90-BIBLE. That's 855-90-BIBLE.